media companies, it's such a changing and evolving nature. You only have to look at the story of Nokia.
True.
They were the dominant player.
True.
Look at the story of Sony. They were the dominant player in MP3 and audio, and they didn't want to sell MP3s. They wanted to sell CDs. So Apple took over. So were you aware that Samsung's got a real vision here, and I want to be a part of this? What specifically was your first job? Was it in marketing with Samsung?
Yes, even was product development. It was product development, seeing what Apple is doing, trying to forecast what Samsung should do in order to be the first in the market, and then move to the marketing team.
Samsung's big, everything from washing machines to
Everything,
TVs to phones. Were you focusing on one product?
Mobile division.
Phones. And what were the lessons you learned in those first 12 months?
Shit. Look, first of all, the first year, I would say, it was focused on studying. It was an MBA program. The next couple of years with Samsung, working in the headquarters, learned a lot. Learned the structure, working hard, being disciplined, trying to innovate. But the biggest lesson that I learned at the time when I was leaving the headquarters, that was a lesson and a hit, another hit.
So why were you leaving the headquarters?
It was part of the program. You need to be trained in headquarters and then go back to Egypt, lead the Egyptian business. But at that time, I didn't want to go. I saw the international exposure. I saw how I'm developing. And I said, no, I'm not going anywhere.
So you were smart enough to recognize personal growth and professional opportunity.
True.
And going back home was, no, that's
still not now.
That's backwater.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Still
not yet.
Still not now. And you know, the lesson was what? At that time as well, I was very well known in headquarters that I'm kind of the guy that gets things done. So I thought that I would never go back to Egypt by nature. And the day came and said, like, HR called me, said, Seif, come to HR. So I went to HR, the guy said, like, okay, it's time to go back to Egypt. And I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. And I was like a kid. And my ego was very high. So I said...
Because what strikes me is I think most people, seniors above you, would probably be smart enough to work out that if they had to go and tell you to do something, if you didn't want to do it, they knew they were going to come up against a brick wall.
Yeah, true. And it was like this. The guy told me, you're going to Egypt. I said, no, I'm not going. All your bosses, the bosses of your bosses, the bosses of your bosses say Seif stays in the headquarters. So I'm not going anywhere.
At this time, had anyone ever referred to you as an alpha? Were you aware of the term alpha?
No, I was always referred to as a tiger. Like my nickname was a tiger. Like Tiger came, Tiger going.
And so you didn't go to Egypt. Where did you go? Was this when you went to Russia?
Yes, but the lesson here was different. The lesson here, the guy, HR, came and whispered in my ears exactly like this. Seif, put your ego down a little bit. I will replace you with an empty chair in 2 seconds. I said, oh shit. I can be replaced. And you know, this completely changed my mindset that I will never sit on a table that somebody will tell me I will replace you. In terms of personal development, in terms of business partnership, in terms of relationship, in terms, I need to develop myself to the level that I'm not replaceable.